All right, next we're going to do the muscles of the spine and thorax. The large erector spinae group is the most superficial of the spinal muscles and has three major branches. The smaller transversospinalis group, Go ahead. Also has three branches but lies deep to the erectors. Its name refers to its muscle fibers, which extend at various lengths from the transverse and spinous processes of the vertebrae.
Okay, hold on one sec. Okay, so the erector spinae are more lateral to the spine, okay? And the transversospinalis, once we find that spinous process and we slide like a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch and sink in at a 45, we're sinking right into those transversospinalis muscle group, okay?
All right. The two spleniae muscles are located along the posterior neck, deep to the trapezius.
Okay, here's the trapezius, the upper flap of the trapezius, okay? So I'd have to sink in kind of under that and close to the spine to get in there. How's that feel?
Not great.
A little tight.
And the 8 short suboccipitals are the deepest muscles, and they are located at the base of the head.
Okay, so occiput. Okay, when we have Kathy here on her back, supine, it's going to be much easier to palpate the suboccipitals, okay, because we can sink in easier, okay? But they're just below the occiput. Okay.
Next, we're going to explore the erector spinae group,
Okay.
composed of the spinalis, longissimus, and iliocostalis.
Okay. So the erector spinae group is broken into 3 separate branches. We have the spinalis, which are closest to the spine, okay? The longissimus, which are the next and the thickest of the group, and then we have the iliocostals, which are closest to the ribs, okay? Go ahead, Ralph.
Next, it just tells the actions of the
Okay, let's
muscles.
talk
Do you want
about
me
the
to
action
do
of
that?
the
Okay.
erector spinae group.
Okay. So the erector spinae group unilaterally will laterally flex the vertebral column to the same side.
Lateral flexion to the left, my lateral erector spinae contract.
If they're bilateral, you'll extend the vertebral column.
So extension or extension.
Okay. And to palpate with your partner prone, lay both hands along either side of the lumbar vertebrae. Locate the region of the lower erectors by asking your partner to alternately raise and lower her feet slightly.
Okay, I'm going to have you lift your one leg and then lift the other leg.
Okay. So the erectors are not raising the feet, but they contract to stabilize the pelvis. And they're very strong.
Okay, what you'll notice though is as she lifts her left leg, her right become more prominent because we have a cross stabilization going on. Okay, so as she lifts her right leg, her left erector spinae become more prominent. Okay? Okay.
And as your partner maintains this contraction, palpate inferiorly onto the sacrum and then superiorly along the thoracic vertebrae.
Okay.
Ask your partner to extend her spine and neck slightly in order to contract the erectors in the thoracic area.
Okay, so try to lift both, if you can, lift both legs. Yeah, I can feel the contraction. There's one muscle that comes over the sacrum that's called your slipping my name, rotators, multifidi. Okay, come on down, good job. And then just slightly keep your arms real tight. Just lift your head and shoulders up just a little bit. Good. Okay, as she lifts up, I can feel her erector all along this lateral spine contract. Good.
Okay. And you can feel the ropey fibers of the erectors between the scapula and along the back of the neck. All right, that's pretty much it for the erector spinae group. The transversospinalis group are composed of the multifidi, rotators and semispinalis capitis. And they rotate the vertebral column to the opposite side and extend the vertebral column. That's the multifidi and rotators.
Okay, so if when I rotate to the left, it's my right side that are shortening. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the spine again. Okay, so multifidi and rotators run in the lamina groove. Okay, and they traverse, the multifidi traverse between 2 and 4 from the spinous process to the transverse process. The rotators traverse between 1 and 3 vertebrae from the spinous process to the lateral. Okay, so when I palpate between the spinous process and the transverse, I'm palpating that muscle group all the way down. Okay. And of course, this is what it looks like when you palpate it again. Find the spinous process, slide 1/4 to 1/2 inch lateral, and then just sink in at a 45-degree angle. Okay, I can slightly feel the lateral tip of the spinous process, okay, and I can almost feel the erector spinae at the other tip of my finger, but if I press directly 45 degrees, I'm sinking right in. Now, if your partner has any tightness there, they'll let you know. You feel any tightness in there?
A little bit.
A little bit of tightness, okay. What's next?
Transversospinalis group. So you're going to locate the spinous processes of the lumbar vertebrae and slide your fingers laterally off the spinous processes, sinking between them and the erector spinae fibers.
So it's a little easier when we get down to the lumbar spine to find the transversospinalis, okay, the rotators and the multifidi, because they're larger. So spinous process, again, slide laterally, sink in at a 45, and superior inferior motion. Okay, what's next?
Okay.
Should probably stop there.